Yet again, you find me heading deep into the Asian countryside and jungle, hunting ancient temples, often abandoned and forgotten. The road is littered with landmines, the jungle festooned with venomous snakes. But the ancient sites you and I will visit are simply breathtaking.
We head off on yet another adventure to seek an ancient temple. These are bamboo. They always fascinate me. It's the sort of place, a dwelling for an ancient elf or an orc. And we don't have to move far before the temple itself starts to become apparent. We see the external wall, and also here is an entranceway, which I do know is blocked. But what you'll see on the other side of this wall is truly impressive. We will see a mythical beast, as well as a site that is here in Sambor Prayer Cook, an ancient city that almost nobody comes to. And maybe that is the biggest mystery, because what lays here is a site that could be the jewel in the crown of temples. Hello and welcome again to World's Forgotten Temples. I'm at Meeborn in Sambor Prayer Cook. Now, what is incredible about this site, as I have mentioned in other videos, is I am in an abandoned ancient city built in the 11th century, and it is believed was abandoned in the 14th. Now, this place had a huge importance to it because a king resided here. It is also associated with Jayavarman VII. So this place was of huge importance. Now, I'm going to bugger off like I do to give you an idea as to the size of this place. And there's some details on here that are quite simply breathtaking. The best Garudas I've ever seen. Well, on a building anyway. So allow me to give you an idea as to how big this thing is. This giant that slumbers in the jungle. And around me is an entire city. I've been here for 4 days filming. I am absolutely exhausted. My back is killing me from going over exceedingly rough terrain on the back of a policeman's motorcycle, a little 125. But when you get to a site that has the grandeur and the elegance of this, then all that pain just dissipates. For you are standing in the presence of gods. Now, do you recall just a moment ago I walked up here and I was standing there? Well, we're now going to take that exact same journey together, because there's something I need to show you. And I sincerely hope my camera holds out, my phone, because it has been bashed so hard it is now damaged, as is one of my microphones. It has been a tortuous journey. So I need to go up here and hope this works so I could zoom in and show you how wonderful it's working. Thank you so much. This is a Garuda. It was a winged ancient bird of prey, and it is said that Vishnu himself used to travel on the back of one. And if we go further down, we see an even more magnificent carving. Now, this is Kali or Kala. I've heard both pronunciations, and he is the god of destruction. But there is so much more than just these two ancient deities to this site. This site has the most spectacular ornate decorations that I've ever seen, and they're just on the other side of this wall. But let's very quickly just lean in and have a look inside. because what is here, well, is a void. It is a space. But what should be here, of course, is a God. But this side was so savagely looted, everything, and I mean everything, was taken. And when they took the statues and the carvings and the ornate details, don't think they did it with any care. They turned up with chainsaws and gangs of men. And it's such a tragedy because due to there being almost no history on this site, what they took was the records themselves. But still, there is plenty to be found. Look here. You see this warrior with his sword, and just to the left of him, we have this beautiful lichen-clad depiction of Buddha himself. If that is not enough for you, we can get a further idea as to majesty. Because look here, this is Damri, which means elephant. Can you see his eye here? And his mighty trunk would have come down this way. But what really, really fascinates me, which I've never seen anywhere else, is this depiction of flowers. Do you see here with the stems and the way they interlace down? They're here, even smaller, but they continue all the way down here. Imagine what this looked like when it had just been completed. It truly is a fantastic piece of art. Moving round to the opposite doorway, we were just over there. We could see as to how brutal the looters were here. Look, missing, stolen, taken, missing, stolen. They literally just hacked at these things. There was little care or consideration, and I sincerely don't understand that. Not only the brutalising of a religious site, just for some filthy lucre, just to get a few coins in your pocket, but also if you brutalise statues and, depictions of gods, their value is going to go down. If you do things carefully, then it would be so much better. Now, I want to focus on this corner because here we can continue where we left off. Remember, the trunk was missing of the elephant, where here we can see it. Now, I'm going to try and keep my shadow out the way. But again, we can see what I call a waterfall of flowers. You see them here, deeply covered with this beautiful lichen. And here we have a flower in full bloom. And again, the stems just continue down. And it's the same on the other side, to the left of the elephant's trunk. And I find this absolutely fascinating. You've got to consider the amount of effort and work that went into making something as intricate and as detailed as this. This is the most magnificent Meeborn, and it's such a shame it's not in better condition. I've just noticed here, both right and left, yet again, the panels are etched so intricately with flowers. This side has something incredible about it. It has an artistic flair that I've never seen anywhere else. These damris, these elephants on every corner, and then to surround them with a cascade of flowers, some of them open, some of them still as buds. It really is an artful piece of work, and to me that reflects two things. One, as to the thoughts behind the gentleman who designed this temple. He seemed to have a very strong reverence, not only for the elephant, but for nature itself. And he should have a reverence for the elephant because it was that power source that helped to move these gigantic blocks to build these spectacular temples, these homes to the gods that have gone through monsoons and civil war and all sorts of blight, but they still remain standing. Although, unfortunately, rather neglected and not very visited. Almost nobody comes here. I've been here for 4 days and I've seen a handful of locals. That's it. And bear in mind, this is a huge ancient city that's nigh on 1,000 years old. It's an absolutely spectacular sight. But saying that adventure and so on comes with some danger, because the Khmer Rouge that killed nigh on 2 million people, they based a camp here. So when I'm going into the jungle finding other temples of this ilk in this city, there's an awful lot of landmines out there, and they caution you, you better be careful where you tread, because your next step could be your last. Now, I very much hope that you've enjoyed this quick trip round what is a beautifully ornate temple that has these wonderful, delicate elephants. And if by chance you could help me build up a library of these sites that are so often neglected and most certainly abandoned, then I would be truly grateful. And how you do that is simple. You go to www.patreon.com/temples. Simple as that. Now then, as always, I wish you absolutely nothing but the very best. You be sure to take good care now.